Good morning, students. We have already started with our first lesson. From that, we have studied one part of it. It was adaptation in plants. Before going for the next part, we will just revise the earlier concept adaptation, the definition, the gradual change, the slow change which takes place in the body of an organism to adjust themselves in a surrounding is called as adaptation. So adaptation in plants was consisting of many different types. That was adaptation in snowy plants, adaptation in aquatic plants, adaptation in desert plants, adaptations in the plant present in forest, adaptation in grassland plants, etc. So now we will start with adaptation in animals. Now we know that in surrounding animals and plants both are present. So what are the adaptation in animals? We'll see. Make the list of the animals in your surrounding. Compare the diversity of animal listed by your friends with your list. Discuss their habitats. Habitats means the place where they stay, or you can, in simple term, you can say that as a home. Food habits, characteristics of their body structure like vertebral column, wings, gills, tails, etc. Vertebral column means we are knowing this concept which we have already studied this in 6th standard. Prepare a chart. So we will do this part later, but before that we will start with our adaptation in animals. What difference do you see between the terrestrial and aquatic animals? Before that, tell me what is meant by terrestrial. Terrestrial means the animals which stay on land, and aquatic means the animals which stay in water. Now, terrestrial animals they cannot survive in water, and aquatic animals they cannot survive on land. This is the main difference we can tell first. Now, particularly if you consider fish, fish is not consisting of nose, or it is not having nose. But the terrestrial animals which are there, they are consisting of nose, or they are having nose. They can properly breathe. But fish, it consists of gills through which it breathes. So that only we will study now. As compared to terrestrial animals, the skin and body shape of aquatic animals appear to have undergone changes. If you observe the skin structure or the body structure of an aquatic animal, their body structure have undergone many changes. Fishes have scales on their skin, fins on their body. If you have observed in this picture, you can clearly see they are having fins which can help them to swim in the water, and they are also having gills. Their body tapers toward both the end like a spindle. If you have seen that when a fish, if you remove them out, it tapers, it undergoes particular vibration like, so it can taper both the end. Fish breathe with gills instead of a nose. So how do the fish breathe? It breathes with the help of its gill. Now their eyes have a transparent eyelids. Eyelids means in Marathi we can say as papnya, which we consist of. Now they are having a transparent eyelid, so they can, if they close also the eyes, they can easily see outside things, which can help them to swim into the water. They have air bladders. Bladders means like, if you consider it, bladder, a simple word like a bag, not actual bag which we use. So they are consisting of air bladders which are present inside the body, which helps them to float. Now, which are the characteristics of fish and what adaptation do fish undergoes? First, again I am repeating, fishes have scale on their skin and fins on their body. Their body tapers at both the ends. They breathe through gills instead of nose. They have transparent eyelids, and they are having air bladders within the body which can help them to float. Now, there are few questions which they have asked you. Observe the bodies of frog, ducks, and tortoise. Of what use are their legs to these animals? Now, frog, duck, and tortoise. Can you tell me why their legs are useful for them? Now, normally you will say teacher from one place to another they can go. Yes. But frog, if you see, they are having webbed toes. Webbed toes means their toes, if you say, they are spreaded a little. So they can jump and they can find a comfort at one place, and from easily they can adjust that place and they can jump to the other place without losing out the balance. So what helps frog to breathe underwater? How and what is that thing which helps the frog to breathe underneath the water? Now frog is an amphibian animal. It can survive on land surface, also it can survive on aquatic, means water also. So the one which survives in water as well as land is said to be as amphibian animal. Now, of what use are the long hind legs of a frog? So what is the use of its hind leg, and why doesn't a duck get wet in the water? Now these all answers are being given later. We will just go through that part. So we will see here now. As a frog and duck have webbed toes, they can use their legs like oars. So you have been seen they are having webbed toes. So they can use their legs like oars. They can use their legs to find comfort. They can use their legs to balance themselves, balance their weight. Water flows off the waxy feathers of the birds like duck and water hen. So why they have asked you one question earlier. Why do duck do not get wet even if it goes in water? The reason behind it is the duck, the feather of the duck, it is consisting of waxy layer. How lotus leaves or the leaves are consisting the waxy layer, same way the feathers of duck are also consisting the waxy layer.